Hey, Kyle is wonderful here again with another wrestling review. This time it's WWE main event from June 22nd. At least that's when it aired on Hulu first. And it was taped before last week's Raw on June 20th in Lincoln, Nebraska. So this is going to be my first time reviewing main event. I know a lot of people do not watch this show, but when I saw what the two matches and stuff that was going on this week I was interested, and I definitely wanted to check it out, and I figured if I was gonna check it out, I may as well review it and let people know what was going on over on main event. A lot of it, we don't know if, like, anything that ever happens on main event will translate over to Raw and stuff like that, but, for instance, it is gonna be the first time ever in tag team action, Damian Priest and Finn Balor with Finn Balor's recent heel turn. So once I saw they were in the main event against the Mysterios on main event, I was interested. I saw there was also a 24/7 match that looked like it was even more crazy than I figured. So pretty much every main event only has two matches, and then they run the rest of the. It's an hour-long show on Hulu, but only the two matches take up a small amount of time. The rest is all recaps. So let's just get right into it. Again, this first aired on June 22nd on a Wednesday, and it was taped on Monday, the Raw, June 20th in Lincoln, Nebraska, right before Raw started. So Dana Brooke is the first one out. A good amount of cheers for her, and even more cheers when the ring announcer says, and this match is for the 24/7 championship. So the crowd's into it. This is probably the first match that they saw all night. Uh, I know that Dana Brooks' old music was so much better. Her new music is so generic now, for sure. Your main event announcers are Kevin Patrick and Byron Saxton. And Doudrop's out with she's got an amazing leather jacket with like fur on the arms, and she looks pretty good. I like the new look that Doudrop's got going. She's accompanied down the ring to the ringside by Nikki A.S.H. She's got her new black and gold superhero outfit. I was really hoping that we would see her drop Nikki A.S.H. drop the superhero gimmick once she started teaming with Doudrop and go back to any version of Nikki Cross or a new version of Nikki Cross, anything that's not the superhero or now super villain type gimmick. But apparently she's going to stick with the superhero for now. So Dana Brooke starts the match out with a drop kick that rocks Doudrop right as the bell rings to start the match. So Dana then avoids being sat on once, but then it doesn't avoid a senton by Doudrop. So Nikki kicks out, but she's hurt. Or I mean, Dana kicks out, but she's hurting at this point. And Nikki tries to get a Doudrop chant going, but the crowd's not buying it from the heels, and the crowd starts to chant for Dana Brooke. So Nikki starts yelling at and it was definitely like when she used to yell when she was Nikki Cross. So you get a tiny little glimpse of the old Nikki Cross in this match. Dana counters a move into a bulldog for a 2 count. Dana then goes to the top rope, but Nikki A.S.H. distracts Dana. Doudrop's able to throw Dana off the ropes, then runs off the ropes and hits a crossbody to a seated Dana Brooke. 1, 2, 3. The match is over. New 24/7 champion Doudrop, and Doudrop looks all shocked and is acting like she won like the women's title. So Doudrop pulls the title up high. All of a sudden, we see Nikki A.S.H. is trying to roll up Doudrop, but Doudrop doesn't even move an inch and just shoots Nikki A.S.H. a look, and Doudrop has a really amazing "How dare you!" So all of a sudden, Tamina's now out. She hits Doudrop from behind. She takes Nikki A.S.H. out as well. But Akira Tozawa trips Tamina from behind and covers Doudrop to win the 24/7 title. So now Tozawa has the title. R-Truth is fighting with Reggie on the ramp. Tozawa is dancing around the ring but gets hit in the back. Gets hit from behind from R-Truth, who hits the back snap and crack for the 1, 2, 3. R-Truth wins his baby back, and he's the new 24/7 champ. Reggie now throws R-Truth into the ring post as R-Truth is trying to leave. Reggie's pin is interrupted by Doudrop and Tamina. Nikki A.S.H. from the top rope to the outside crossbodies Reggie, Doudrop, Tozawa, and Tamina, a 4-person crossbody. And R-Truth is still knocked out from that ring post shot, so Nikki A.S.H. pins R-Truth to become the new 24/7 champion. Nikki A.S.H. is now running around the ring celebrating. Dana Brooke hits a floating neckbreaker to win the title back that she started this whole segment out with, and Dana Brooke runs away. So if you missed main event, you would never know that there was, what was that, four or five new champions, and because it just went back to Dana Brooke by the end of the segment. So that was pretty crazy, but worth a watch. Not a long segment, and pretty crazy how like people just kept coming out and doing moves and stuff. Nikki's mad and that she didn't get the title, and the announcers note that she's gonna have to answer the Doudrop now. So the segment ends. So let's just pause and talk about that Doudrop thing real quick. This could just be something that never gets brought up again, and it's just like because everybody wants the 24/7 title for whatever reason. But you could also look at this deeper and think that, well, maybe we're never going to see the women's tag titles ever again, because it looks like they're kind of getting rid of the Doudrop and Nikki A.S.H partnership. And like I said, we might never hear of this again, and they'll never talk about it again, and they'll just be a tag team going forward, and maybe they will bring the tag titles back. But just from watching this segment here, like I said, I did enjoy this segment, but it made me think that, oh wow, is the WWE Women's Tag Titles never coming back? So we'll have to wait on that one, but that could be a hint on that. So we get a ton of recaps now. We recap the. I'll just tell you real quickly what happens in the recaps. Recap of Riddle versus. That way you can get an understanding of what they play on main event. So we started with that 24/7 stuff. Now we get a recap of Riddle versus Reigns, the whole rivalry they had. Then they show a large amount of the Riddle versus Reigns title match on SmackDown a week ago, and then all the promos after and Brock's return with the F5s. They go from that to a recap of the Lashley Riddle feud, or the Lashley Theory feud, and they show a large amount of the Lashley Gauntlet match that was on Monday Night Raw. Then they run down the card for Money in the Bank so far, and then we get a recap of Finn Balor joining the Judgment Day, and they're kicking Edge out after that. So that leads us to the second match, and Finn Balor and Damian Priest come out to the same Judgment Day music that like Edge had. It just doesn't have the Edge speaking part at the beginning. It doesn't have the "You think you know me, you never did." So it's just the same music, and it's the exact same Titantron in the background with the purple wings and stuff. No Rhea Ripley with them. She's at home recovering. She's got a mouth and a little bit of head damage from when she won the number one contendership match. She's been out with an injury ever since. And both Finn Balor and Damian Priest appear on the ramp from the darkness and mist. That was pretty cool with a spotlight on him. Finn Balor has a big frown on his face, and I'm just like, finally, no more smiley Finn. Like, no more cheesing, smiling, happy guy Finn. We get Finn's wearing his normal gear, so that's one of the things I wanted to note is if Finn was wearing anything different. Nope, it's just normal gear, black leather jacket, plain black trunks, and both men mean mug their way to the ring. So again, really nice to see Finn Balor mean mugging instead of smiling all cheesy. And they have a one thing to note here. You know how they do the CGI graphics, like the Bobby Lashley has the big swirling storm with him in it and stuff, and like the Roman Reigns one, and you know what I'm talking about. So for apparently for the Judgment Day, their CGI thing is I don't think we've seen this before. I think this was new. It's a giant hooded figure, almost like a druid or something, holding one of those Judgment Day scales. And on the scales, there's a portal, what looks like a portal on each side. One side is a yellow portal, and one side is a purple portal. So that's one thing to note. I don't think we've seen that before. The Mysterios come out when Ray's music hits, a huge pop for them. So the crowd still loves themselves some Rey Mysterio. And this is the main reason I wanted to watch main event right here. Anytime I can see Finn Balor and Rey Mysterio in the same ring together, I knew I wasn't expecting a three-star match or above. I was just wanting to see those two interact in the ring. I looked it up because I knew this wasn't the first time they've been in the ring together. They have been in a Royal Rumble match together. They were on opposite teams of a Survivor Series match, and they were also most recently in, I think it was October, a fatal four-way match for the number one contendership for the WWE title. Seth Rollins won that match. In that match was Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, and Rey Mysterio as well. So that was on Raw back in October, if you remember. So other than that, there's never been a Rey Mysterio Finn Balor one-on-one match. And Finn Balor does have a little bit of chemistry with Dominic and Rey. he formed a 3-man team with them on a house show loop for I think 5 matches. So we'll see how this goes, and I was excited to see any little bit of interaction between Ray and Finn Balor. But yeah, Damian Priest is going to start the match with Ray, and oh man, like Damian is so much bigger than Ray, so this should be interesting. Ray tries his best to use his speed to avoid any big shots, but Priest gets that big shot, gets the tag in the Finn, and gets over the Dom right away. So we don't get our Ray versus Finn yet. Dom hits a springboard arm drag like the Mexican style, and Finn tags out after that. Priest is so strong, or too strong for Dom, but Dom is trying his best to fight back. Finn distracts Dominic, and Priest turns Dominic completely inside out with a lariat as we go to an ad break. So when we come back, Finn is beating up Dom, and Finn tags in Priest. Priest hits 2 jumping forearms to Dom, but Dom's able to kick out at 2. A tag over to Balor and a double team on Dom. Finn works over Dom in the corner. Some good stuff, some good aggression from Finn Balor that we don't normally get or we haven't been seeing in a while. Dom gets his cutback cut short immediately by Finn, who then works over a chin lock. Dom then counters and hits a bulldog to get over the Ray and tag in. Now Raisin with some fire, and this is exactly what I wanted. Ray and Finn Balor in the ring together. Priest distracts Ray just long enough to stop Ray's momentum here on the hot tag. Ray counters Finn and tries to hit Ray. Ray tries to hit his patented wheelbarrow bulldog, but Finn's able to counter it into kind of like a sling blade type move. I don't think it was exactly a sling blade, but that's what it kind of looked, best way I could describe it. And it looked really nice. So yeah, this is exactly why I wanted to watch this match. Ray kicks out of that big move. Balor's being super aggressive and cocky, and the crowd is booing Finn Balor big time for being aggressive and cocky towards Rey Mysterio, which was great to see. I wish this was on Raw. Definitely should have been on Raw. With maybe they can run it back again next week on Raw. But Ray hits a top rope hurricanrana. Priest has to save Finn on the pinfall. Then Dom comes in, throws Priest out, and then this part's pretty weird. Ray then sets Finn up for the 619, but Priest is able to block it from the outside. Priest grabs Ray by the legs and picks him up and throws Ray into the barrier, like the barricade at ringside. And then the bell rings, and we're told it's a disqualification. So I even rewound it back again to see, like, was there anything that was illegal? Like, and no, Ray goes for the 619, and Priest is just standing on the outside and grabs him and throws him into the barricade. Last I checked, that happens in almost at least a quarter, if not half, of every wrestling match ever. So, and it's never a disqualification. So that is really, really awkward end to this match. As soon as the bell rings for the disqualification, Finn tackles Dominic in the middle of the ring and starts mounting him with punches. The crowd's booing big time, probably half for the bell ringing and half for they were already booing this aggressive Finn Balor. Finn throws Dom in the Priest, who then tries the Razor's Edge, but Ray saves Dominic and takes down Priest with a seated senton. Double 619 the Damian Priest, and the Mysterio stand tall. Wow. So I'm not gonna like complain about that, but Rey Mysterio is still a legend. Of course, Dom always gets more offense than he should with his ability. I said that in my review of Raw a couple of weeks ago when Dominic still lost to Veer Mahan, but Dominic was getting crazy amounts of offense on Veer, which I didn't like. And yeah, Dom able to take down Priest here. Didn't really like that either. But yeah, Mary Mysterio helped him. And I have no clue why the bell rang. There was no reason for a disqualification there. So that's basically it. The end of main event is just a recap of the 5-way women's match on Raw that had the new number 1 contender now that Rhea Ripley was injured. So that was won by Carmella. And then they show a good portion of the match between Becky and Asuka, the Raw main event, with Becky crying as the end of this show, just like it ended Raw. So overall, I was happy that I watched this. I'll probably watch next week and see what's going on. All the crazy. I would have never known that the 24/7 title changed hands 5 times. And I definitely mostly was interested in Finn Balor and Ray being in the same ring together. B, checking out Finn Balor's new heel persona, and B, and I mean C, seeing what like they changed anything about the entrance or his outfit. So the entrance and outfit were the same. The boos for Finn Balor and him not smiling like a cheesy grin, that was amazing. So all good stuff that I like. I would have just preferred Priest and um, Finn Balor to beat find a way to double team Dom and get the win here easily after about 10 minutes. But we'll see where this goes. Again, it was on main event, so even WWE knows that most people don't watch this show, and so it's nothing to be too concerned about. Hopefully, we see Judgment Day on Raw this week. I would assume that they were probably going to be on Raw in a bigger capacity, but got bumped over the main event once they found out Rhea Ripley was going to be injured. If you remember, Finn Balor and Damian Priest were kind of helping um, Rhea Ripley intimidate or trying to intimidate Bianca Belair. So that could be why that all of a sudden Priest and Balor on main event, but putting them in the ring against the Mysterios was a good decision. You get Ray in there with Finn, and then also you get Finn Balor and Damian Priest get to work out any kinks. They can work on the entrance, anything they might want to change for the entrance going into when they make their debut in front of a bigger audience. So all in all, good stuff. You can check out. I've got reviews all over the place on this channel. I've also got one of the deepest WWE/NXT and Performance Center universe modes that I stream. I'm almost on episode 100. So I've got those as well as reviews of all the WWE shows, AEW, New Japan, NWA, MLW, and Impact. So check those out if you liked what you heard here. And like I said, I'll probably be back with main event again next week. I think they come out on Wednesdays, so I'll try and get that out before Dynamite. Or if I can't get it out before Dynamite on Wednesdays, it'll be after Dynamite's review. So I'll talk to you guys again. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Peace.